Hi, physics kids. Mr. Johansson, just want to show you what to put into your labs. All the labs I'm going to be doing with you are really, really simple, straightforward labs. I want to make one point. I want that point to be clear, and I want you to be thoroughly inculcated with that point after the lab is done. So I don't want any confusion in the labs. I don't want you doing a bunch of stuff that you don't know what you're doing, and you get some result, you write it down, and you turn it in, you have no idea what happened. These labs are all really straightforward, very, very simple labs. So let me just show you how to do the write-up on them. First thing would be the cover page, where you put the lab name, your name, the date, and then physics, my name, Johansson. That's all. Page one, all right? You could put cute little diagrams. You could put physics comics, things that you find interesting on the internet. Feel free to make the front page interesting graphically. That's always a good thing to do. I would like you to identify the purpose of the lab. What is the purpose of the lab? What is the real goal of the lab here? When we were measuring the length of the hallway, or the length of the unknown distance in the hallway, do we really care about the unknown distance? No. So what's the purpose of the lab? Well, to use the velocity equation in a different way, solve it for distance, and to learn about the range of possible numbers instead of a single number as an answer. So that would be the purpose of the lab, all right? So a clear statement of actual intent. What do we want to prove? Then traditionally materials, and just a quick list of the materials that we used. Okay, so we could replicate the experiment if we needed. After that comes the theory. So what's the theory? In physics, very often, the theory is a simple equation. For lab number one, the theory is velocity equals distance over time. Lab number two would be distance equals velocity times time. An equation, almost always, is what we're demonstrating in a particular lab. All right? Then the method. How did we go about doing this? And the method needs to be listed. 1, 2, 3, the steps in order that it took to conduct the lab. Don't give me silly steps like I walked over and bent down and measured this distance. No, keep it short, sweet, and simple. All right, so after that then, if you've got that, then your data, clear table. Make a clear data table. In this data table, all the information that you take from the lab, there should be a place to put it very simply. Most of the labs that we do here, once you have your data table all set up, you should be able to take the data from that lab in a couple of minutes tops. And you should have a place to write it down clearly. And then you're going to manipulate the data. For example, if we were trying to calculate velocity, distance, time, should they go in this order? How do you do a velocity calculation? Velocity is distance over time. So if I put them in this order, and the distance was 20 meters, the time was 20 seconds, well, how do I do the calculation? Distance over time. So distance going first makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? It's how I'm going to enter it into the calculator. So it would be really silly to put time first. So put, as you would put it into your calculator. Try to enter it that way on your data table. It makes life a lot easier. When you have to do so much data, you don't need things that would confuse you more. So that's the data table. It might include graphs, anything you need to put in there in terms of data output, that's where that goes. And last is what's the conclusion? And conclusion should be a simple statement, and it should relate clearly to the purpose. If the purpose was to learn how to take physical data, the conclusion, I learned how to take physical data. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. Make your conclusion match your purpose. If the lab completely fell apart and nothing was proven that we were supposed to prove, well, you could put that there too. Honesty, we're still supposed to be all about honesty in science. And then questions. Please answer the questions that are on the lab best you can. No need to write whole paragraphs and such. Simple, clear, concise answers are all you need. That's how to do a lab write-up in simple form. All right? Thanks for watching.